Good day, Internet, and welcome to the Monday Night Online Open Mic presented by the legendary Nuyorican Poets Cafe. I am your host for the evening. My name is Advocate of Wordz. Happy Monday to everyone. And let's see the beautiful faces. Here's some of the beautiful faces. We got some more beautiful faces coming in from the waiting room. So, if you are paying attention to the opening video, there's something in there that we're going to talk about later. Ooh, I'm excited to talk about it because I know y'all thought that I forgot about it, but it hasn't been forgotten about. So, we have a full open mic list. Let's get to it. This is our 133rd week in a row of doing the Monday Night Online Open Mic. We do this every Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitter. If you'd like to see any of our past open mics, you can check it out on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitter. And if you happen to be watching us live on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitter, and you would like to join us on Zoom, it's the number at the bottom of the screen, 279-995-364. And if you happen to be watching this in the future, that is our number every Monday at 8 p.m. So make sure you lock it in and come and join us and hang out. We'd like to thank the National Endowment for the Arts, the New York City Council on the Arts, the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, the Amazon Literary Partnership, and the New York Community Trust for sponsoring our free online events. You too can help us with a tax-deductible donation by going to nuyorican.org/contribute or hitting us on the Cash App, $Nuyorican Poets Cafe. Today's theme is boss. Did you know that there is a Boss's Day? It started out like in 1958 and I think it's 1958, and there was some employee from State Farm who's trying to big up their boss. I wonder how much money they had to slip. The boss had to slip this person to start that, right? But it is Boss's Day today, National Boss's Day here in the United States. But of course, poets, you could flip that title however you want. Maybe you have a story about you quitting, which is always great. It's the rage on the internet. Or maybe you had a poem where you're just talking about you the boss of your own life, right? You got the power within your own life and you're the boss of yourself. Or maybe it's something else. I just want to let you know that the clothing line and cologne company Boss did not sponsor this. Hugo Boss. That's how much I don't know about fashion. Nonetheless, that is the theme tonight. If you are not on theme and you are on the open mic list, do not worry. You could still share your poem. Maybe you got something different in your heart or weighing on your soul today, and that's what needs to be said. Feel free to do so. On the right-hand side of the screen, you can see all of our upcoming themes. Next week is Diwali, okay? I am only starting to learn about it, and I know that we've had a few people from India who joined our open mic. Most notably is our man Unmesh Mohitkar. So next week, we're going to celebrate it. And if you don't know what it is, then you're going to learn about it too. So I'm excited about that. Week after that is actually Halloween. So spooky and horror is the theme. All weekend, we are doing Halloween stuff at the Nuyorican Poets Cafe, whether it's Sunday night of Halloween next week. Sunday night we're doing what is it? Oh, the spooky salsa and whatever. Check out nuyorican.org and you can see all the upcoming things that we have coming up for the next 2 months, including December 12th. National Tingling Day. Yo, it's a real day. It's a real day, all right? And all of you who've got your minds in the gutter, it's about giving a call to people that you love and you haven't spoken to in a while, and that's why they called it ding-a-ling, whatever. Let's keep it moving. You could follow me and none of these bad jokes on my Instagram, Twitter, at Advocate of Wordz. That's where I have all of the flyers for the Monday Night Online Open Mic and the upcoming themes. I also got a YouTube. Look up Advocate of Wordz when you spell words. That's with a Z because poetic license. Okay, poets, we got a few rules. Please pay attention. When your name is called to perform, please turn your camera on. We want to see your beautiful faces. We want to see how expressive you are. And most importantly, we are poets, incredibly observant and voyeuristic. We want to see if you cleaned your room. Okay, so make sure that you turn your cameras on. Also, please have your poems ready to go. If you're going analog style, you're reading off a paper, out of a book, have the page turned to your poem. If you're using a digital device of any sorts, make sure that you have that file open. Or maybe you got it memorized. Memorized poems are most welcome on the Monday Night Online Open Mic as well. As long as they're 3 minutes long. You've got 3 minutes to rock out, whether that's one poem or multiple poems, 3 minutes to perform. And before your poem begins, we give you 30 seconds to introduce yourself. There are a lot of poets in this community who've got their hands in a lot of cookie jars. So make sure that you share your information. We want to build community. The New Eureka Poets Cafe has a lot of things going on, and we want you to go to a bunch of them. But on the off chance that we aren't doing something, we want you to continue on with your own journey, right? So make sure that you share your handle, because you're going to have new fans. And if you're hosting your own open mics, please promote it and let the good folks know about it. In terms of censorship, put the kitties to bed. I love that graphic. Everything looks on point, but those crosses look like out of whack and trying to be kiddyish, whatever. Put the kids to bed. Some of my poets are going to use mommy and daddy language. And on a more important note, some of our poets are going to share some things that are incredibly vulnerable and possibly triggering. The founders of the New Eureka Poets Cafe were big on freedom of speech and creating a space for people to bring their truth. And sometimes their truth can be abrasive to the ears, or it could be triggering. Whatever it is, art isn't safe, so we try to create a safe space. Poets, speak your truth in whatever language that you are using. Of course, it should go without saying that we don't accept like hate speech, but that should go without saying, right? After our poets literally and figuratively cut open a main artery in their soul and put it into their poems, and they share it with us, and they entertain and inspire us and all that good stuff, this message is going to pop up on your screen. Please click the blue button, unmute yourself, and shower our poets with love. It is never easy to share your poetry, whether it be on stage or via Zoom. And who cares what your neighbors think? If you're too loud, they should have been on their Zoom call anyway, because this is where it's at right now. Our poetry list, our open mic list, is closed for tonight. Sign-ups begin 24 hours before the show on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. To sign up, visit newyourekan.org and click Full Events Calendar. After that, you would click on the date that you want to sign up for. Next Monday is going to be October 24th, so you would click on the 24th, and you would get an artist RSVP ticket, which will place you on the open mic list. Now, the artist RSVP ticket only becomes available on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. If you go on there before Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, you're going to see just a view RSVP ticket. That doesn't get you onto the open mic list. It has to be the artist RSVP ticket. Oh my God, we did not forget about this. Did you forget about it? I didn't forget about it. We're going to talk about that later in the show, maybe like an hour and 15 minutes into the show or whatever. But we're going to get back to this. And for those of you who are like, what the hell is this? Don't worry, I'm going to explain to you as well. About another hour and 15 minutes, because we got a lot of awesome poets that I want to get to and hear tonight, because that is the bread and butter of the Monday Night Online Open Mic. It is the poets, not me and my graphics. But I do want to tell you that we are going to talk about the Wednesday Night Slam as well at the New Eureka Poets Cafe. And later on, we are going to talk about the workshop, Let's Write a Book of Poems, which I had to cancel yesterday because I have not been feeling very well. Nonetheless, these are the poets who are going to make me feel better tonight. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. We have got a full list. As you see, some of the names I have here are in a black font, like Mary Lee Johnson, who we haven't heard from in a while. She has been busy saving the world, or maybe terrorizing the world. Who knows, right? We only know Mary Lee via Zoom and a few of our shows. We don't know what she's got up her sleeves now. I'm joking. Very sweet woman. Happy to have you back, Mary Lee. I hope all is well with you. Catherine has returned. If you were here last week, you saw I put her on the spot. I really enjoy this woman's writing. I've gotten to listen to her and speak with her and talk shop with her for months now. She is a joy. I am happy that she officially signed up. Now she is going to be prepared, and I'm not just going to throw her a curveball when she's come to donate her time to listen to all the awesome poetry. And we also have Jeff Taylor. Now, this name is throwing me for a curveball because Jeff is a common name and Taylor is a common name, but I am not sure if I have ever seen Jeff Taylor. What I have done is spoken with my producer, Mr. Ron Mark Thompson, and apparently Ron has informed me that when Jeff first came on the Mondays, it was our boy Elemental who was hosting for me. So therefore, I think Jeff has been on the Monday night, but just not with me hosting. Nonetheless, we're going to find out later. And of course, I didn't highlight it though, Complicated Passions. We haven't heard from him in a while. I think he did come back 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, but before that, it's been a while. Terry Rose Jurtson. I feel like I always see Terry Rose, but I'm not sure if she's performed on Monday in a while, but she's always here giving us love. Angela Cluley, who hasn't been here in a while as well, and then so on and so forth. We're going to have a good night tonight. With that being said, I think I've covered everything, right? I shouted out Mr. Ron Mark Thompson. I appreciated that. Oh, Elemental is in the building. I was just talking about you. Look at that. Shout out to my man Elemental. And let us get into it now with Deadpan Lizzie. Let me wait. I can't. Oh, there we go. Zoom is telling me that this stream is being live streamed on YouTube, and I couldn't click the unmute button. There it is. The beanie god herself, Deadpan Lizzie. Sis, it is good to see you. You know the deal. Let the folks know how they can find you online. Oh, before we begin, hold on. If y'all can see right here, I put my social media. Wait. I put my social media here on my Zoom. If you want, you can rename yourself to include that. But without further ado, Deadpan Lizzie, let the folks know where they can find you online, and then we're ready for you to kick off the night.
Good to see you, brother. Beanie blessings to you and our community. I will add it to my Zoom box when I'm finished with the pros. Best way to find me is on IG, ES_Strauss. I'm also on Tumblr, though. We realized Tumblr is like back and at it. So ES Strauss on Tumblr, where the only thing on there is my poetry. So if you want to read my page poetry, I'll drop that all in the chat. I did write for the prompt. It is titled Rhythms, Beats, and No Starless Skies. The sun beats down from my eyebrows to my toenails day in and out. When the rain soaks my skin, I still feel dehydrated while Mother Nature attempts to teach me more lessons. I trudge through all types of personalities while wearing many types of beanies. I go from Chelsea chic in all black clothing, mala beads my defense against the mean streets, to turn the corner and whip out a leather jacket with an evil eye that rests upon the new wool. The delicate balance of CEO and show collar from multiple companies cannot be juggled. Even with the right apparel, we must be on our toes at all times. Like Orion, we build our belts, connect the loopholes of our associates, why some are too wound up or more laid back than a dog on a bath mat. Each minute on the job and off a new note in the composition we create together. Some musicians may play more melodies than others, practice their rhythms and beats leading to more opportunities. But without the undertones of each section from our score, it does not flow. Conductors must keep 4 eyes on the back of their head, sunburned, soggy beanies at all. So when one instrument squeaks out of tune, we know how to lead them back to the correct measure, because no one ever thrives under starless skies. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves. Give some love to Deadpan Lizzie.
Nice line, babe.
Come on, let's go.
Yes.
Ryan.
Make sure you go give Deadpan Lizzie a follow. Make sure you put your info into the chat as well so that the people can copy and paste and look you up, because we are a little lazy, right? We're not typing things out. And also we sitting back, we're enjoying the poetry. So, of course, you could go rewatch this on Facebook and on YouTube, and you could re-listen to where people said that you could give them a follow. It is to my understanding at the moment, Mr. Michael Sindler, who's supposed to be next, is having some trouble getting onto Zoom, so we could bump him later, and when he gets that fixed, he could be back. And also, Paul Skiff, the OG, the Jedi Master himself, is having a few technical difficulties, so we're going to bump him towards the end. So I see Jeff Taylor is here, and he's supposed to be last, but if he's ready to go, we could go to him. Let me unmute Jeff Taylor. Look at that beard. That is a glorious beard. I just want to let you know, Jeff, we are fans of beards over here. I've just begun to grow mine again for the winter and whatnot. So I did see in the chat you said, Jeff, this is the first time you're on Mondays with me, but you have been on the Monday before with Elemental. Is that correct?
That's correct. You got that right, Advocate.
Awesome. Awesome.
Good to see you, man.
So, before I gotta ask, where you located, Jeff? You don't gotta give us your specific address, but you know the whereabouts. Where are you representing?
Yeah, I'm coming from the Boston area. So I live in Malden, which is just north of Boston.
No, Jeff, don't. I just met you, Jeff. Don't tell me you're a Red Sox fan. Please don't tell me that. Are you?
You know, I actually don't really follow sports all that much. So I guess I'm by default, I'm a Red Sox fan, but I'm not like passionate about it, you know.
All right. Well, before you begin, Jeff, I do have to say this. The New Rican Poets Cafe is a tolerant organization. We do allow New York Mets and Boston Red Sox fans to share their poetry. So, now that I got that out the way, Jeff, welcome to the Monday Night Online Open Mic with me. Welcome for the second time. I'm excited to hear you. You already see how it is. You let the people know where to find you online if you got social media, and you got 3 minutes to share your fire. The floor is yours, brother.
Great, thanks. Just give me 1 second to get my poem. I thought I was going to be last, so I don't have it quite out here, but just give me 1 second and I will have it. Just while I'm putting this together, I tell people check out Oddball magazine and they can see my poem Catfish was just published in Oddball magazine, and if they go to the website there, they'll be able to see that poem. But I'm here. Okay, so this poem is called My First 5 Jobs, and it's kind of along theme with the theme of boss. 1, Papagino's in Stewart's Plaza. My first day of work might as well have been my first day out of the house. I wasn't a butterfly. I was butter flying. 2, United States Postal Service, Back Bay, Boston. The first time I slept on the train, a homeless man woke me up at the Jamaica plane stop. He offered me his bottle of Old Thompson, his hands a dark jaw that only ever says hello. It took me 90 minutes to collect the mail I had let blow across Field Street. Someone called the inspector because they thought I wasn't the mailman, but I was just terrible at doing the job. 3, Stop and Shop deli clerk. The first time I smoked pot, I drove the wrong way around a rotary at 1 a.m. Not all unions have the same rules. 4, Malden Centralist grinding. The first thing I learned about job interviews that turned out not to be true: if you go to the interview high and they hire you, you can assume no one will care if you get stoned at work. 5, Legal copy services in downtown Boston. The first time I got fired was for showing up drunk. I had been put on the graveyard shift because I kept calling out to play Edward 40 Hands in the abandoned house Burke broke us into. On my first overnight, I smoked a blunt with Jamal in the rooftop garden. He told me he feels uncomfortable being the only Black person in the building overnight. Jamal quit before I was fired. That was my first 5 jobs. Yeah, check out the Garage Poets on Facebook. You can look us up. We go up every Friday night.
Give it up for Jeff Taylor, y'all.
Dude.
Edward 40 Hands. So
Big
good.
up for smoking with Jamal on the rooftop, man. That was dope. That was dope.
Thank you.
Jeff Taylor, that's one of those poems that makes me be like, yo, I want my own poem like that. I got stories of my own with these jobs. I am glad I am not the only delinquent who is part of this workforce in this country. I've got something in common with a Red Sox fan. Go figure. Jeff Taylor, Jeff, please put your info into the chat as well so the people know where they can find you and they can haunt you to make sure that you're here every Monday night with us, okay? Listen, Jeff. The Red Sox aren't in the postseason. You've got no excuse to not be with us now, okay? Make sure you come hang out with us. Jeff Taylor, welcome to Mondays. I really enjoyed that poem. All right, let's keep it going. Next up is Vexed Lex. Let me unmute Vexed. There she is, Vexed. Are we mad with Boss Day? Are you your own boss? Or what? You know what? let's not spoil it. You give it to the people how you want to give it to the people. Let them know where they can find you online, and then the floor is yours.
All right, thank you, Advocate. You can follow me on Instagram at VexLex Poetry. I put it in my little Zoom box. So this piece is on theme. It's called Upper Mismanagement. I am my own boss. I say to myself repeatedly, alternating between high and low, in the hopes that my brain will successfully process these words. It should be a complete sentence, but I continue to have the urge to add a conjunction. It should be a statement, but I question the validity of it. I am my own boss, but I really shouldn't be left in charge. Most of the time, there is no agenda. Then there are the times when my post-it note to-do list becomes an elongated scroll that I will attend to once I return from lunch. But this lunch break has lasted for a majority of the week. I am my own boss, and I believe there should be an immediate change in personnel. I try not to take it personal. Isn't the point of being your own boss that you get to pick and choose when you show up? Being checked out is taking up all of my vacation days. Who do you answer to when you break your own rules? I long for a human resources department to hold me accountable. Am I my own boss, or is someone else calling the shots? Thank you.
What? Unmute yourself and give some love to the boss.
Yes.
Flex. Yeah.
Amazing.
That boss.
Good time.
Loved
Lex,
it.
come
Loved
through.
it.
Lex, tell him.
I felt that HR line. I felt it a little too much. Give it up for VexX Poetry. Make sure that you go give her a follow. You see her name is right there. Instagram, VexLex Poetry, a mainstay of this community. Vex, we better see you at the next hybrid. Okay? I just want you to know, and if this makes you feel bad, I'm totally okay with it. Everyone knows that if we get 80 people at hybrid, I will sing during karaoke. Last time we had 79. Vex, you could have been that 80th, okay? So if you want to carry around that guilt for a little bit, you totally can. Make sure you go and cheer up Vex Likes Poetry, because she got something to feel guilty about now. A wonderful member of this community. I love having her around here. All right, let's keep it moving. We are now going to the wild card, the withdrawn. Let me tell you, folks, the type of poem that my son was at the last hybrid, and he had to listen to the withdrawn. I mean, like, you know, it's better he listens to it in poetry than on TikTok. My brother, it is good to see you. Let the folks know where they can find you online, and let's get into it.
Much love, man. Much love, y'all. Y'all can follow me at thewithdrawn.com. Scroll to the bottom. You'll see all my social media links. And this piece, I think, is called Toxic, Toxic, Toxic. I admit it's hard saying I'm glad things ended when they were meant to, over saying I wish I had left you earlier. I mean, I get that I would not be in this relationship today if we died like 2 years too soon. But it still doesn't shake the shame I carry for staying with you. I never looked emotional abuse in the eye until the day I met your four. That's the crazy thing about it, right? Not catching both the deceitfulness and love coexisting in someone's window. Why are people like that? Everything about you seemed perfect. Too perfect. Cliche as hell, but it do be like that. The language of your profile sung to my search, sung to my prayers, sung to my worth. I know others who have fallen to that same presentation. It really wasn't our fault. Isn't it magical when someone pronounces what you feel from words you can't form? Or the words be what you didn't know you were feeling till they rose out another chest? Here is your invitation to come to therapy, my friend. But this discovery of love and manipulation I'm talking about didn't come from therapy. It came from one of your partners, my partner. or our partner. I wanted every person I saw you with while we were together to leave so you would hurt. So your heart would meet the sharpest teeth for the lifetimes nobody listened to our cries. So your heart would be rolled in the blunt for expecting accountability, but never having it in your vocabulary. So your heart would be smoked by every single one of us for handing out trauma as a housewarming and graduation gift. I've grown since I escaped. Towards my collapse, I left wanting every person I saw you with while we were together to leave because they deserve better. You can sleep at night painting us as villains, all the while remaining oblivious to your behavior. Just remember, you won't ever to escape from the ways in which you made your employees feel. Thank you.
Unmute yourself. Give it up for the withdrawn.
Damn,
Yo,
Withdrawn.
I love y'all, man. Thank you.
Yo,
Wild card for real.
Withdrawn is the monster.
Thank you so much.
Oh my goodness, that dude's ridiculous. Give it up for that. Woo.
You see, it's why we call him the wild card. Just when we thinking like, yo, he's gonna get real nasty here. We're gonna have to explain the dope words to people and stuff. Then he goes all like vulnerable and open and heartwarming. The Withdrawn, check out his website, thewithdrawn.com. A mainstay member of this community, online and in person. He's constantly coming down from Buffalo to head to the Lower East Side to come hang out with us. I appreciate all that time that you put in, brother. I always tell people, look, folks, I'm gonna be very honest with you. I got no problem wasting your money, but I don't ever want to waste your time. So Withdrawn, I want you to know the time that you spent, it is very much appreciated, all right? We're going to take your money for granted, but the time you give us, yo, that's not taken for granted. We appreciate you, brother. TheWithdrawn.com, make sure you check it out. And we're going from one mainstay member to another. We going out to the left coast, to the farmer, to the bard amongst poets, to the man who is from a very gifted family, and that is Mr. Tessasomok. On Thursday nights, you can hear him stringing his guitar and playing, because Thursday nights we have an open mic at 9 p.m. We'll talk about that later, but tonight we getting some of his poetry. Mr. Tessasomok, a pleasure to see you as always, brother. Let the folks know where they can find you online, and then let's get into your fire.
Sure, thank you. You folks can catch me on Instagram under Gashes 2019. I'm gonna go ahead and jump in with this piece titled Rethinking Justice. Shall we rethink the whole idea of us striving for justice? You know, that is just is and just us and rights. Justice is a singularity in time, and it is erodible by difference and time. That is what we call entropy. We can never truly achieve the perfect union with justice, but merely see it kind of passing us by as a signpost on the path to some unforeseen and perhaps unrealizable utopia. Human rights are problematic because they're articulated within and for the nation state, especially the Western nation state, which seeks to exploit desire for its own purpose of dominating and regulating all life from the inside out. How then do you resolve and constitute collective alternative jurisprudence? Since we know that the individual is an invention of the nation state, how do we fill and negotiate the trinity of jurisprudence, natural law, analytic law, and normative law? This trinity must coalesce within a regime, a semiotic regime of signs, sign value, sign signifier, regardless of whether it is alternative or not. If justice is always promised, it exists in the immanence of the Spinozian self-power. Spinoza would lead us to believe that as long as we have life, we have power. No one truly ever gives up that power, because to do so would be to give up life itself. Communities are made up of bodies dislocated from territories and place-based knowledge and find themselves in an anonymous strategy of domination. Justice finds its grounding in the refusal of the prescribed discourse. Foucault presents the interlocked relationship of power, truth, knowledge, and jurisprudence in many of his works from Warfield. Indeed, it is in discourse that power and knowledge are joined together. This is the precise location, my fellow poets, where many of us poets have chosen to interject an alternative discourse and a constitution of power through discourse and immanence resistance, vulnerable only to time, indifference, entropy. Our poetic aesthetics is an anonymous strategy of network resistance and a constitution of local place-based Zoom power.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for the bar, Mr. Tessasomo.
Poetic aesthetic.
Tez talk. Yeah.
Come on,
What do
man.
I do? Reasonably pronounced
Telling you,
question.
man.
The doctor says if I do.
We always say that, the Tez Talk. After you listen to Mr. Tessasomo, you listen to him long enough, you wind up getting a PhD. He could kick people's ass and give them a PhD. I respect and appreciate people like that. Mr. Tessasomo, make sure that you go and you give him a follow. Wait, Tez, did you say that someone in your family did that background as well or no? Yes or no? Or he wants to speak. Hold on. Let's take. We do something that I want to make sure I get it right. Where's that your background from?
So no, I generated that digitally using artificial intelligence. That's generative art, digital generative art.
Oh,
That's actually the cover of my next book coming out. So.
Nice. All right, thank you, Tez. Appreciate you, brother. Go give this dude a follow. Now, I don't have anything too big. You know, I have art here. Well, my girlfriend says this is art. I don't know if I think that is art. Can y'all see that? I don't know. I feel like I could have done that. But that's art, right? Right? Like my girlfriend's the art major. She says this is art. So I'm fancy schmancy now, right? Okay, let's keep it moving. Next coming up is, we going to the Bronx. Where's Tabitha? Tabitha. I don't see Tabitha. I see Ethan Stackhouse. I don't know who Ethan is, but shout out to you. Lady Siren is here. See you. I see Laura Sibby. Or Lara Sibby. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. And you got a beautiful smile, by the way. Sorry about that. But Tabitha, apparently, I heard Tabitha. She got unmuted. Wait, you there? Oh, there you are. Ron Mark Thompson on it, making sure we unmute Tabitha. Go ahead, Tabitha. The audio's coming in and out. Bronx, stand up. You know what to do. Let the folks know they can find you online. Then let's get into it.
Thanks, Advocate. And how dare you not find me? I'm Tab _001 on Instagram. I'm actually on theme tonight. Let me get to it. All right, it's called Continuous Visions. All these things live in a mind that doesn't sleep. Places you pray to grow from tell tales of closed books, ones you struggle with. Now they shine bright on someone else's bookshelf. Thoughts never get quiet. The burrow in you screams, we trained you for this. Created to live better, whispers, stop fighting me and start fighting him. Again, you dream without rest. I run to 1,000 books just to leave 1,000,000 blank pages. Unfilled or maybe unfulfilled. Pens tired of the same ink I bleed, type just do better. But I'm trying. New possibilities lie. Leaving you in the same place you started. An angry client reminds me of my customer service skills, because without uncollected coins added to the stomach of my bank, there's no change. Exhausted I sit. $15, 2 kids, overhead responsibilities, equal hurting feet, and $4 lunches. Hope. Excuse me, sir. Whose intelligence do you insult, telling me I need to do more to earn more pay? Like my efforts already haven't exceeded your returns. I run front and back house. My work 2 jobs, belly in, Tyler, 9 to 5, run for a bite, kiss my son, run to class, Sally Mae plus 20 years of how the fuck can I help you? When really I should be helping myself. Has taught me I hustle. But you must think the possibility of ADHD spells stupid, because ain't shit add up here. Expected to duplicate a man while I drop. He rides off in 2-seaters accompanied by infidelity. leaving me the same person he says can't. Not yet. There's no money coming in to do. Care for a place he neglects just so the tip of his meat could grow. Tired. Every day I run just to stand. Run for a bus that I pray, God, please let this be free. Visions. The corner of my screen reached 4:16. Clock start in a few hours, but I can't stop. I can't stop venting. I can't stop writing. I can't stop trying. Better await. Tired, I dry eyes and convince myself undeposited checks, but resumes or talents. At this point, it's whichever pays better. Tired of doing 9 just so we could afford 2. Of the tick standing next to me throwing eyes back because don't a bitch look so pretty in her budgeted struggles? I throw mine too. So far to see different things, pretty things, ones that hurting state of minds can't see. Upstairs pictures see better views. So she wakes me, reminding me it's time to go harder, to do better. I pray, sometimes for upstairs silence, sometimes to become more centered, to find my faith again. Double hands for them, because it's because of me we still here, together in the same place, lost, taking an air on fire escapes, overlooking the most beautiful neglected place I call home and peace.
Unmute yourself. Give it up for Tabitha.
Come through, Tab. That's how you bring it.
Thank you.
You saw that, right? So there's the points where she's very vulnerable. She was speaking straight. And there's points she was getting guttural and speaking like the Bronx out the side of her mouth. I love this. Is why we turn our cameras on so we can see y'all get into it. Make sure you go give Tabitha a follow. Tabitha, put the information into the chat so people can know where to follow you. Bronx represent, Tabitha, a mainstay member of this community. Love it. Love it. All right. Jeremy Simo's supposed to be next. I don't know where he is. So we're going to go on to the next person, who's Marilee Johnson. Let me unmute Marilee. Marilee, it is a pleasure to see you again. You know the deal. Let the folks know where they can find you online. And then the floor is yours. Good to see you again. Marilee, you are unmuted, but we don't hear your mic. We don't hear you. We don't hear your mic. You are unmuted. As you can see, Mr. Ron Mark Thompson, who's in the New Rican Poets Cafe. For those of you on Zoom who want to check him out, he's right there in the cafe. Our open mic Monday is going on. We have a Monday night online open mic, and we have an open mic at the cafe on Mondays. So he quickly turned his camera on because he's like, wait, we can't hear Marilee. So let's get a mic check. Can we hear you, Marilee? A little bit. Wait, you may want to put. Your.
I always forget to do this. Thanks for reminding me. Okay, so the first thing I have is just some notes I jotted down today, and then I'll ask you if I have time for another fairly short piece after that. Okay. Today was one of those draining days, 4 doctor appointments in one day. So I took a cab home from the city and jotted a few notes about that cab ride. Jump in, won't you? There's room in the back. New York, windows on the world. Cab pulls over at my hail, Columbus Circle, and as soon as I tell him I'm going to Queens, the driver shakes his head, thinking he won't recoup his losses going to an outer borough, but he doesn't refuse me. It's against the law, too. Secretly, I plan to give him a good tip. I repeat the address and borough a couple of times just to make sure he doesn't take me to Upper East Side Manhattan or something. And we're off. It's then I notice the sunroof. Wow. I can't take my eyes off the sky. I watch clouds jump from one building to another, take pictures of the different sizes and shapes. I glance through the cab's side window and notice images of the buildings streaming by in the windows of the line of parked cars. Thankfully, the driver chooses the top level of the Ed Koch Bridge. I try at first to take pictures of the cream-colored beams quickly passing overhead, but realize the photos will be blurred on my flip cell phone and settle back to just enjoy the moment in real time. Shortly, I twist around and crane my neck, snap pictures of the skyline with the sides of the bridge slicing through the view. I turn front to take a photo of the Silver Cup Studios sign as we approach Queens. I feel comfortable letting the driver take whatever route he and his GPS choose. I will pay what he wishes, though the fare is steeper than usual. I feel much better having put this distance between me and my upsetting doctor from this morning. At my apartment building, I comment to the driver about the sunroof when I take the receipt through the plastic shield on the back of his seat. Yes, I still give him a decent tip. Then it's a great view through the glass of my building's lobby to the Halloween decorations exuding joy from within. So I assume I have time for at least another one, right? Okay. So I've been enjoying Advocates class. I haven't been there for the last few weeks, but I have one or possibly two, depending on time, that are in formats that I learned in his class. One of them is called an interlocking rubaiyat, which is 4 quatrains. First, second, and fourth lines rhyme, and there's more details beyond that. But anyway, walking alone in a park, walking alone after dark. I've just heard a poetry show. I want to make my mark. Next time I'm going to go grab that mic and rap, yo. Trying to get you to clap. I've got ideas to sow. I want my name on a map. Creative juices on tap. I have a lot to learn yet, but I'm going to fill in the gaps. I want to do the first set. See all the met. Now this is more than a lark. I want to give and to get. It's probably about my time, right? Probably about
You
my
got
time.
one,
Okay.
one more. If you got one more quick one, go ahead, rock with it. We here for you.
Okay, I'll try to speak fast. This is a poet's dozen, another format that we learned in class. So there's 23 lines, line 1, 1 syllable, keeps increasing by a syllable. After line 12, you drop it down until you have 1 syllable on line 23. That's probably my time right there, right? 1, can be, what of it? Sing your strength loud, fall back if you must, but crescendo again. Spirited meanings carry, all can interpret together. Expressive dance breaks down walls. The idea is to open ourselves. A silly jig can make for a shared laughter. What keeps us apart when we must live together? It's not rocket science. We all live on Earth. Do we share life, love, fairness, respect? No. We don't always view justice the same. What's fair to you isn't to me. Our views can sharply differ. How do we ride this earth? We must all care now. Save each other. CPR. Your life, mine. Thank you for your patience. Appreciate your ears.
Oh,
Give it up for Mary Lee Johnson, guys.
Yes.
Always good
That
to
last
hear you.
poem was amazing.
That poetry knowledge. Let's go.
I love it. A poet's dozen. That's exactly what I wanted. Mary Lee Johnson, Interlocking Rubaiyat. Y'all could look that up. If you're not coming to the class, y'all look that up on your own, man. We got some gems over there. And right now, I really like that, Mary Lee. Loved it. And your story about in the cab and the whole ride home. I was there for all of it. I was there for all of it. Mary Lee Johnson, a mainstay member of this community. Welcome back. I'm wishing you nothing but good health. I'm sorry to hear about the doctors, but I'm wishing you nothing but good health, Mary Lee. You know we love having you here. So welcome back, Mary Lee Johnson. All right, let's keep it moving. Next coming up is, I like to refer to him as Dr. Strange. Y'all know him in the comic books, and everyone who knows that I look at this community as each of y'all are your own comic book character, and then sometimes we have like crossovers and whatnot. And when I think about Messiah, I think about Dr. Strange, because in my mind, I feel like what Messiah does is his soul leaves his body, goes into the astral world, writes a poem, comes back, places it before his corporal form. He comes back into his human body and he's like, oh, I've got a poem and now I'm going to share it. And after you hear his poetry, you may think that I'm right in how it's made. Messiah, brother, let the folks know where they can find you online, and then the floor is yours.
Thanks, Advocate. It's good to be here with all of you. It's great to be here. So yeah, I'll put my handles in the chat when I'm finished. I have one short poem. It's new, and it's called Divine Eye. Infallible demise is immortality. The eye falls upon lucid as consciousness resists cessation, recalling the reverie of life. As you are formed, renewed, substantiated loka, cognition of worlds. How is karma born and instantiated through lives, passing through a deathless continuum where self is what binds rather than frees? Karma is interdependent, emergent, from aeon to aeon, the relational fabric woven by secret hands that elaborate subjective perception as relatively insubstantial. To the realms of rebirth, kama, rupa, arupa, a footprint of choice, where these cycles are measured in the infinitesimal cusping of being. Silence. As I am empty, I will find my world awake. Self, a movement through me, falling away. Your path is clear to me. You who are here now, all consequence, a hair's breadth from eternity, embracing the capacity of selflessness. In lives hence, in lives no more, love will be the fulfilled anatomy of your transmuted being, and total liberation, the inexplicable arrest, an allayed cause into formlessness, will be your ultimate call from within. Thank you.
I told you, unmute yourselves, give it up for the Messiah, y'all.
Messiah.
This nickname heard forever, and we might have to start calling this the Sanctum.
Yeah.
That dude's been bananas. For real. Let's go.
Elemental is not only obnoxiously loud and giving love to people when we unmute ourselves, but he is also a nerd. The Sanctum. Ooh, what you know about the Sanctum, Elemental? We could talk comic books all day, but right now we want to focus on Messiah. Messiah, put your info into the chat so the people can know how to follow you. Messiah, he is here with us damn near every Monday night and also Thursday night, which is a great time for me to tell you that. Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, Ray Jane hosts our open mic, and the difference is you can not only do poetry, but you could do comedy, you could do music on the Thursday night, so make sure you check it out. Messiah actually, his entry point into the community was on Thursday nights, and I used to look at him sideways like, why ain't coming on Monday? He coming on all these Thursdays. How come he not coming on Monday? You know? So now he's here on Mondays, and he comes to our hybrids. Make sure you go and give him a follow. Real quick, before we continue, because I see some names in the chat that I know that haven't signed up to rock out, like Christy Scribbles. Pleasure meeting her and her husband last month at Hybrid, or maybe it's like a month and a half now. She's a mainstay member of this community. Mia Aguilera representing Brooklyn. Fall is looking good on you, Mia. Make sure you go check out her Instagram. She's here DMing like, yo, what's your Instagram? Why is he always talking about your Instagram? Go check it out. Give her a lot of love. A mainstay here. Professor Platinum is here. Mr. Doug Silver, okay, and his mom poem is still rattling around in my head. It's been like 5 weeks already. Marcia Rivera in the Zoom chat. Love me some Marcia Rivera. Sis, I hope all is well with you. We have seen you on Zoom. We haven't seen you in person. I hope all is well with you. I know that life is busy and you conquering the world, but you gotta come hang out with the New York. We miss you, sis. Also, shout out to Jenny. We have no idea I have no idea who Jenny is. For all I know, Jenny could be, you know, a guy or non-binary, or maybe they're just an AI robot, but they are here every week and we appreciate the love. Thank you, Jenny. Shout out to Kayvon. Kayvon's dad told me he's performing next month. Not just Kayvon, but also his father. If you've ever been in Hybrid and you've heard someone whistle really loud and be obnoxious with their love for the poets, which you know that I love, it's Kayvon's dad. I love his family. They're fantastic human beings. I hope to see them next month. Denisha, what's going on, girl? I hope all is well with you. Week in and week out, this woman is listening to you, our poetry. I appreciate it. Also, Tanish Kaur is also here in the Zoom. We like to call her Honey Lun. She is a mainstay member of this community as well. So I'm going to get to other names who are here that are not on the open mic list, but are hanging out with us, like the Chameleon Poetic. Have no idea who that person is, but shout out to you. We're going to name the other names later on, but right now I want to go down to Florida to Gustav Salas. Let me unmute this brother right now. Shout out to Alexander Goldberg as well, the Goldberg in the Zoom chat. Mr. Gustav Salas, the Magus. That is part of his Instagram, which he's going to let you know. It is good to see you again, brother. Let the folks know where they can find you online, and then we're ready for your fire.
Indeed, it's the Magus 801 on Instagram, and I have 2 pieces. One of them is brand new shit. It's called Boss. Nancy Pelosi is a boss. She is someone you don't want to cross. A rolling stone gathers no moss. Don't get it? It's your loss. So if there's an orange traitor that you want to toss, call Nancy Pelosi. She's got the sauce. Brush your teeth and don't forget to floss. And always remember, Nancy Pelosi is a boss. And this next one is Holographic Universe. Relates to boss. 1, 2, 3, check, check, check. Beamed up from Prague like Star Trek. I got lines going on to infinity. Some call me a poet and some a divinity, but I never take me too seriously. I'm living on the edge deliriously. Future evolution depends on our decisions now. Surmounting every difficulty will show you how. Words flowing out like Niagara, falls in your lap like Viagra to keep that booty shaking as Armageddon's quaking. My rhymes erect, it's never flaccid, complex like deoxyribose nucleic acid. Been up all night, I keep going and going and going, and where this will stop, there's no way of knowing. Leo Dragon's my horoscope. I'm pyrotechnic like a great white dope. I'm on fire and everything's funny. I'm the frickin' Energizer Bunny. It's inside me, there's always more. 7 days a week, I'm on 24. Plugged in, blissed out, I'm inspired. Into cosmic consciousness, I'm hardwired. I'll live forever, I'll die trying. At light speed, I'm time defying. Real serious like the dog star, yet delirious like a drug czar. If making my own synchronicity seems like egocentricity, I've got my flaws but live life to the hilt. Love and do what thou wilt. Third eyes on like I got x-ray specs. I'm driven to the edge of Cassandra complex, but I roll with the shocks. We're putting everything back in Pandora's box. The golden apple goes to the fairest. I'm dressed to thrill. All hail Eris. Sacrifice to Bacchus another Red Bull while giving thanks and being mindful of all the joy that surrounds us, even when all their bullshit hounds us. Back on earth where we live life, death, rebirth, and the afterlife. And I'm sailing away. Live in the now, live for today. The river Styx, we all will cross. In Hades, I'll be my boss. Non serviam, I'll tell the ruler. We'll install central air, now that's cooler. In the underworld without a care. All my best friends are there. We'll open a club, we'll call it heaven. It'll be rocking 24/7, orgiastic revels. I'm not Joshin, Dionysian, Hieronymus Boshin. We like it spicy, got no taste for mild. Our party motor's running, reborn to be wild. We're quantum mechanics under the hood, meta programming for the common good. If Einstein's relativity is E equals MC squared, this means that good times are best when they are shared. Our cup runneth over, a cornucopia, an underground network created this utopia. We make the rules by which this game is played. Got a grip on the eternal golden braid. So if you're down with what we're professing, come with us, we're effervescing. To these naked truths we're undressing. Love one another, it's a blessing. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves, give it up for Gustav.
Wow, that was amazing. Incredible.
Tell him.
The energy.
All that energy, I love it. Make sure you go give him a follow. Gustav Salas, a mainstay member of this community, who's also come up twice from Florida to come hang out with us. Who he is on Zoom is who he is in person. Appreciate you, brother. I hope all is well with you. Also, a shout out to Terry Rose Jurtson, who is the Chameleon Poetic. I'm sorry she changed to Instagram. I should have recognized by her avatar, because when she has her avatar up, it is her book. But we will be hearing from her later because she is on the open mic list. Who's actually next? I'm sorry. Terry Rose Jurtson is next. What a great segue. I really didn't do that on purpose. I thought you was later on. The Chameleon Poetic on Instagram, better known around these parts as Terry Rose Jurtson, aka 1/3 of the Jersey Trinity. Terry, I am so sorry I got it wrong, but thank you for correcting me. I'm quick to correct. Let the folks know where they can find you online, like I just stated, and then let's get into your poetry, sis.
Well, you won't find me in the Citizens Bank Park because everything was sold out because the Phillies are kicking butt. But I won't get into that. That could be why you couldn't remember me tonight. All right. I have a sonnet and it's pretty bad. So I hope you like bad poetry. My sonnets are pointless and turn to poop, mostly because I never have that much to say. Dragging nothing out to 14 lines, my pen droops. Sonnets are not fun today or any day. I want to be able to spout devotion to my soulmate, even if it's me, deeper than the Atlantic, Pacific, Indian Ocean, but that has been challenging. I need to water this love so it blooms, but this gardener best grows weeds. Why this heart never seems to make room for flowers, delicate praise seeds. To love myself, the hardest task. This kid with a basketball bashing my brain. Outside in the front of my house, bounce, bounce, bounce. And at last, praying to the gods for monsoon rain. Sometimes I just can't stand the pointless, relentless, meaningless sounds. Still trying to make peace with the pieces, causing my head to pound.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for Terry Rose Jurtson.
Chameleon Poetic.
I enjoyed that, Terry.
Right. Bad poetry. I'd hate to hear horrible.
Terry Rose Jurtson, you can check out her new Instagram, The Chameleon Poetic. Make sure you go give her a follow, a mainstay member of this community. She also gets down with our karaoke after party, which we have after Hybrid. You gotta make sure that you check that out. Hybrid, second Saturday of every month. And Terry Rose Jurtson, The Chameleon Poetic on Instagram. Make sure that you go and give her a follow. And I am surprised, yes, that the Braves and the Dodgers are knocked out. This is nuts. And I just checked, the Yankee game's been delayed because of rain. And apologies to all of you who did not come to hear about sports here. I promise we're getting back into the poetry, and we're getting back into it right now. And we're skipping across the pond to a country that does not have baseball right now, but they have what they call football. We call it soccer, and that's the UK, with my man Lantern Carrier, who we've also had the pleasure of seeing in person because he has come to the New Yorican Poets Cafe, and he's actually been at the Open Mic Monday at the cafe as well as Hybrid. Lantern, it is a pleasure to see you as always, my brother. I know you were staying up super late for this. I appreciate that. Let the folks know where they can find you online, and then let's get into your fire.
Okay, I've just put it into the chat. This piece is dedicated to Messiah. They say I'm a poet. I'm the light of voice of the soul, a kindergarten songbird expressing itself in myriad ways according to the receptivity of its growth and consciousness. When the light of dawn awakes, when the sunlight catches this deity on the Elysian lap of paradise, I pray my words echo in your core, my spirit whispers in the magna of your being. I am right here, have walked only through the sunrise, to a realm that heaven has made ready for my respite. Yet my grandeur enchants like the scent of redolent roses, my laughter resonates in the hills and valleys afar. The throne of the beloved beckons and I must go, yet it's no farewell, but an awakening to the glories of Jerusalem. How can the sun not set when the day is waning? How will the willow waltz without the breeze? We are together as breath in breaths, the sound of silence amid sleep, the soaring eagle which will never dream that it can fly without feathers. Again, is its flight possible without the lapis lazuli of the perennial heavens? Love flies like the phoenix, a shimmering fire of longing, patient like the sunset, knowing that each day will pass. The quintessence of spirit is timeless and immortal, a light, a nameless emptiness which permeates all things, filling them up with the Tower of Jannah. Where am I not? The ray that dances in the horizon manifests itself in the cuteness of a child's smile. So too you'll see my face, hear my songs in the morning's dew, feel my essence in the old photographs of pleasant memories. I am the sunlight weaving your charisma, the twinkling stars holding your gaze, even as we roam through the constellations. I am the moonlight flooding your heart with solace, and I smile lovingly as you cup your hands in prayer, chanting 1,000 love yous to my delight. Didn't I agonize in the Garden of Gethsemane? Yet I rose again from an old rugged cross, ascended the darkness, even as Orion merged with the throbbing in your heart. The decay in my sepulchre is not the end of this quest, for I am an eternal journey. Lanson Carrier, thank you.
Okay, everybody, unmute yourself and give a round of applause.
Yes,
Hey.
sir.
Man.
Yeah. Appreciate you for staying up late with us, man.
Okay, Advocate is having a little tech issues right now. Advocate, oh, you're back. Can you hear us? Nope. Okay, so we're gonna. Sorry, it's a little bit loud because we are also having an on-site open mic inside the cafe here. So I apologize about that. But Lanson, thank you as always. So let's go to Catherine. Catherine, let me find you here. Here we go. Let me unmute you and go ahead. Let everyone know where we can follow you, and then go ahead with your 3 minutes.
Hi, everyone. I'll put my Instagram handle in the chat. I just want to hold a candle without getting burned. I just want to be a glimmer in a candlelit night. I just want to get paid and live my life. But the wax will always drip down to the first knuckle. And the scars, collections of holes, memoried losses. Like stars, they burn after the fire in a sky of hollow hands. So watch me walk with open palms, gathering truer wages. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for Catherine.
Catherine, that was beautiful.
Clearly, she got the message. You are definitely one of us. Welcome to the circus.
Welcome to the circus of Mondays. Indeed, she's definitely one of us. Catherine, put your info into the chat if you want to share your social media so that people can remind you to come hang out with us on Mondays. Catherine is fire. Thank you to Mr. Ron Mark Thompson for jumping in. My screen froze. Apparently my video didn't, so all of y'all saw me panicking and everything. I was like, what the hell is going on? So shout out to Mr. Ron Mark Thompson for jumping in and taking care of that. Catherine just put her information into the chat at Lady Catherine May. Make sure that y'all follow her and remind her to come here and hang out with us on Mondays. Look. I already have the great pleasure of hanging out with her on Sundays during the workshop, but y'all need to make sure that she comes on Mondays too. Pure fire. Thank you, Catherine. Appreciate you. And again, one more time, shout out to Mr. Ron Mark Thompson for jumping in. I don't know what happened. This is why we have backups right here. So next coming up is Nick Austin. Before we get to Nick Austin, because I know how difficult it is, apparently he is a Mets fan. I'm sorry. I want you to know you're accepted here. You may be made fun of behind your back, but you are accepted here, Nick. So right before we get to Nick Austin, because we have had some people show up just a little late, This is the Monday Night Online Open Mic presented by the legendary New Yorican Poets Cafe. If you'd like to join us on Zoom, the number's on the screen, 279-995-364. We do this every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitter. Look up New Yorican Poets Cafe on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitter, and you will see all of our past open mics as well. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and on YouTube at Advocate of Wordz. When you spell words, that's with a Z, because you know Bronx hip hop. What? Make sure you go give me a follow. Also, if you want to sign up for our open mic, the signups begin 24 hours before the show on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. To sign up, you would visit newrican.org and click Full Events Calendar. From there, you would click on the date you want to sign up for. Next week, the theme is Diwali, the Festival of Lights, and that is on October 24th. So you would click on October 24th. Then you would order an artist RSVP ticket, which will place you on the open mic list. It's the only way to get onto the open mic list. And the artist RSVP ticket does not open up or appear until Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. The view RSVP ticket will not put you on the open mic list. And also, apparently, I must have messed up in the emails, because the email says you cannot sign up in back-to-back weeks. You can sign up in back-to-back weeks. Those are our old rules. I'll make sure I send out emails to clarify that. But every week you can sign up. Hint, hint, Catherine. Hint, hint, Catherine. Every week you can sign up. Also, we're going to talk about this. No, we're going to talk about it at the end. We're going to talk about it a little later. First, I want to let you know, every Wednesday night, except the first Wednesday of the month, we have the Wednesday night poetry slam. So if you're interested in competing, I just had a glorious talk with Jive Poetic about what we are going to do for the Grand Slam champion. But if you want to get into the tournament to be the Grand Slam champion at the New Yorican Poets Cafe, you have to come to the cafe on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. where I host a Wednesday night poetry slam open. Always a lot of fun. And if you don't want to compete, you just want to come by and check it out, you can. Or if you want to come by and be a judge, you are more than welcome to. We do it this Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you come and check it out. Mr. Ron Mark Thompson will be in the DJ booth doing the production. So come hang out with us. Also, every Sunday, except for this past Sunday, yesterday, I've been under the weather. My apologies for that. Every Sunday from 6 to 8 p.m. inside the cafe and via Zoom, we have the Let's Write a Book of Poems workshop. We are going to get back to writing. This is where I have met beautiful people like Catherine. This is where I've gotten to see people like Marilee and Tabitha keep up in their games. We talk shop. We talk about writing prompts, editing, different theories. We disagree with one another, and the conversations are actually best when we disagree. You know, Tabitha likes to go, but Advocate, I know you said this, but I like this about Mariella's poem, and I don't care what you have to say, and I love it. We're always talking shop. All that information can be found on newyorican.org. Now, with that being said, this was not forgotten about. Oh, my babies, this was not forgotten about. For those of you who don't know, the New Yorican Poets Cafe had to close during the pandemic. So we have built this beautiful online community where people far and wide come from, South America, Latin America, Canada, Europe, Asia, Africa, like everywhere. I think we've even had someone from Australia, right? And like people are getting up at all different times in the morning and at night to hang out with us. So we did it for over 2 years now. And I got to thinking, I was like, I know all this stuff is on YouTube and everything, but we are a literary organization. We should have a book that gets to like kind of document and put together what we have shared. So back in this spring, I had asked for the poets to send me in their poems, and one of the caveats was you have to have read it on the Monday or Thursday night open mic, right? And we did that, and everyone had sent me their poems over the I think it was the spring or the summer. The summer was the deadline we had in June and July, right? And it's a huge undertaking. Then I had become programs manager. I had all these other new responsibilities. I didn't forget about it. I had to keep putting it off the side, work on it a little bit. Well, my folks, this week I am interviewing interns. And the intern's only job is going to be helping me put this anthology together and to help me organize it and to reach out to people. So within another week or two, if you have not heard from me, I am going to be reaching out to you and letting you know, yes, we got your poem. Okay, we want to let you know that we got all of your entries, because there's some people who haven't, and some people I didn't respond to and let them know that I had gotten their entries. There are like over 100 poets, and each of them have sent me at least 3 poems. At max, they were allowed to send 5. So I've got 300 to 500 poems to look over, and I'm going to be having someone help me, and we're going to be having updates with this anthology. The goal was always to get it out by next spring or summer, because we want to do it real right. And this is the book that is going to reopen the New Eurekan Poets Cafe's publishing house. This is going to be the tip of the spear that reopens the New Eurekan Poets Cafe publishing house. So we got to make sure that we do it good. I just want to let y'all know what that update was. When more updates come, I will let you know. And I am going to make the intern come on, who's helping me out on Monday night, so that y'all can meet whoever this person is. I've got some interviews lined up, so I don't know exactly who it is, but I like the candidates from what I have seen on paper. So I will be getting up to you with letting you know all about that. And we're also thinking about, after we organize all of that, opening it up to people who have come after the deadline, right? So there's some people who are just pure magic, but didn't get here until August or last month. And we're thinking, yo, like, we got to try to open it up to include them. I will give all of that information when it is time, but I want to let you know the anthology is coming. So without further ado, we have made Mr. Nick Austin wait long enough, the same way his New York Mets have made him wait to celebrate a championship, but not as long. We haven't made him wait as long. Mr. Nick Bars Austin. Brother, let the folks know where they can find you online, and then the floor is yours.
Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Nick Austin. I go by the stage name Bars. You can find me on Instagram at Nick Austin Poetry. All right, the name of this poem is White Noise. Why is it my responsibility to make you a better white person? It is not the job of the oppressed to teach the oppressors how to stop oppressing them, to stop arresting them, swallowing them whole and digesting them and breaking them down with their acids and convincing the masses that the person doing the eating and the person being eaten are somehow equal. They don't even believe that we're somehow people, and it's been that way since way back in the day. They lied and said racism died with desegregation. In reality, it's been passed down from generation to generation like a hand-me-down. They convinced us that receiving welfare is only considered a handout if the hand is brown. And you can kill a man in cold blood and still claim self-defense as long as the man is brown. There's royalty in my blood. So I know you only spill it because you can't stand my crown. If you ever try to confront me or any of my loved ones and try to stand your ground, I'm not standing down. I will make it my mission to put you in the same position that Sandra Bland was found. 7 years later, it's still hashtag say her name. This shit is a reality. It is not a game, even though it's called life. The United States of America will never be all right as long as those racist motherfuckers keep trying to make this all white, and we could do this all night. But oh, before you try to tell me that you can't be racist because you only have sex with black women or black men, or you got a bunch of black friends, or you saw Black Panther 5 times in the movie theater, so there's no way that my black skin could ever be something that you would hate me for, I need to know, what kind of fool do you take me for? You might not be a racist, but I'm sure you know plenty. For every 10 good white people you know, I'm sure you know 20 of the bad ones. You might not be a racist, but your dad's one, or maybe it's your mother, or your brother, or maybe somewhere there's a black boy being held behind bars, being held without bond because your sister lied and said that he forcibly kissed her, or whistled at her, or groped her, even though he's only 9 and the surveillance footage said otherwise. So yeah, maybe you just know one of the other guys that tell the other lies, you know, Barbecue Becky, Permit Patty, Corner Store Caroline, because historically minorities can't touch white women or else it's hammer time. They see Black people in public having fun as a problem. And the solution is to call 911 to stop them. And then they have the audacity to play the victim when the cops come. Stop twisting the facts and resisting the stats and treating me like a criminal. My only crime is existing while Black. You never keep that same energy for the white boys. So your fake huffing and puffing ain't nothing but white noise. Make the right choice. Stop remaining silent in situations where your voice is vital. Remaining idle makes you just as liable. Your fingers are just as guilty as the ones pulling the trigger. Your lips are just as complicit as the ones calling me nigga. There will be no invitation to the cookout if you don't look out for the ones on the grill. No to-go plate if you don't show face at the marches for the ones getting killed. Fuck how you feel. And fuck what you gotta say. Actions speak louder than words, so you gotta show me today that you're truly one of the good ones. Or else, I just have to consider you one of the bad guys too. Because white tears and white fears don't matter more than Black lives do. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for Bars.
Great job, Bars. Really great.
Bars. Yo,
Right.
only thing missing
Right.
is the Queen reciting your
Still
tune.
processing
Yo, come through, Bars. Come.
Bars, Nick Austin, and I think that it was the Withdrawn who copied my favorite line in the chat, that line about that grill. Woo, that grill line was everything. Nick, Bars, Austin. Nick, put your info into the chat so people can give you a follow and remind you to come here on Monday night where you can spit your fire poetry and be reminded that the Mets haven't won since '86, okay? But listen. I am a Yankee fan, but I will be honest with you, Nick. I'm a Chicago Bears fan, and we haven't won it since '85. All right, so like I'm 1 year ahead of you in the heartbreak. Thankfully, I'm a Yankees fan. Nick, Bars, Austin just lit it up. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Shout out to Deadpool who came in a little bit later. Shout out to Whitney Salgado who just put a fire poem on the Instagram, or at least I just saw it. I think it was earlier today, so I don't know if she put it on today or a couple days ago. But shout out to Whitney Salgado, and then I want to give a shout out to all the people who are in here whose names I don't recognize, like Kaylee Knox. Although I think this is Kaylee's second time checking us out. If not, I don't know. Thank you, Kaylee. Sophia, Ethan Huggins, Lydia. I don't know who these people are, but they have been checking us out tonight. I hope you're enjoying yourselves. Thank you very much. Kyla Graham. I hope I'm saying, I don't know if it's Kayla or Kyla. Either way, I'm saying both names so you know we shouting you out. Ryan Heck, Jessica Hoke, Mike. I thought Mike was Michael Sindler because he's having trouble logging in, but apparently it's not. Amina Ortiz. Wait, I think Amina's checked us out before. Maybe even signed up. Maybe on a Thursday. Shout out to Amina. Logan Stevenson. Shane Fedin. Or is it Feedin? Fedin? I don't know. Shout out to you, Shane. Thank you for checking us out. Bryce Nishi. Hope I'm saying your last name right. Everyone knows that I'm big on trying to say people's names right. So if I'm butchering it, I apologize. And Eric Kwan. Thank y'all all for checking out the open mic here. I hope you were enjoying yourself today. I really enjoy this community. And if you're enjoying it just 1/100th as I am, then it's time well spent. With that being said, let us get to AC. Wait, where is AC? Where are they? There we go. Let me unmute AC, who has been on the Monday Night Online Open Mic sparingly and definitely been on the Thursday night, if I'm not mistaken, as well. AC, a pleasure to see you again. I hope all is well with you. I'm glad you've got your handle right there in your name, but still audibly let the folks know where they can find you online, and then let's get into your fire.
Yeah, you can find me at ANGCHRI3 on Instagram. And then at Hot Sauce the Poet, but I haven't been on that one in a while. I'm looking to revamp my socials soon. But yeah, I just wanted to say New York has been calling my name lately, so I decided to come back to this cafe, this online open mic. I'm excited to be here. I have 3 short poems. Rooted Canal. Ellos te robarán los dientes si los dejas, si lo permites. Abuela. They'll rob your teeth if you let them. They being the dentist, the doctor, the pharmacist, the insurance company, collection agents, the ones with good intentions, the saviors, they being the system, the patriots, the woke, the capitalists, los güeros, they, we do not trust them. We do not let in. We stand only by kin. We stand only by kin who stand by us. No matter how hard the hustle, we stay together. We build together, we survive together, we thrive together. If we divide, we are extracted, tooth by tooth, cada diente, como tombstone until we're empty. They are the reason cadavers don't get cavities. Thank you. That one's the first one. And then the second is really short. What if the moon is a mirror and a refraction of how the sun sees itself at night? And the stars are tiny fragments of reflected glass, shattered thoughts of unworthiness. And if this is true, then there are phases and even times when the mirror disappears. Let the mirror disappear. Just let the mirror disappear. Thank you. And one more. You don't deserve to be lied to. You don't deserve to be compromised. A bruised fruit squeezed dry. I'll repeat this to you over and over as a reminder till it becomes a new cycle. Please let it seep into your mind and ignite love synapses onto each receptor. Allow it to pump safety through your ventricles and security into each vein. You deserve so much just for being alive. You deserve trust and love, communication and healing, balance and healthy connection. You deserve confidence. I wish you confidence, self-realization, mindfulness, grounding, physical, emotional, spiritual, mental, and intellectual health. You were born to have profound roots pumping strength into your full heart. You've been a walking wound for too long, still bleeding trauma from past lashes, and they became repeated cycles, repeated relationships, repeated actions, repeating beliefs that you are not good enough, that you are not worthy, that you don't deserve. But it's wrong. The trauma is wrong. Past cuts and wounds need to become scars and fade away. Pour in the neosporin and let go of the old. Let fear become the catalyst, the bait to become something better. Cast your line into the ocean until you find what you need. Mold the environment into your masterpiece. I wish you peace, balance, beauty, purpose, hugs, so many hugs, resilience, restoration, truth and honesty, connection, fun, intimacy, reciprocity, and a life worth living. Each 7 years, every cell in your body is regenerated, and cells are the seeds we need to grow. Even our bodies have a system of letting go. Thank you.
What a way to end that. Unmute yourselves. Give it up for AC.
Beautiful job, AC.
Wow.
Really, really good.
Yeah, really.
Thank you.
That was fantastic. AC, you see where you could give them a follow at Ange Chris, but instead of the S, they got the letter 3 right there, okay? Because you know it's new age, all right, people? It's new age. Ange Chris, AC, a pleasure. I am glad that whoever or whatever was calling you back, and that you not only was help them, am I glad that they were calling you, I am happy that you listened. Please don't go far. Folks, I understand that we've got real life and bills to pay and ambitions to conquer, but god damn it, this Monday night is awesome. Y'all need to be coming here. Thank you, AC. I hope all is well with you. All right, Jenny, I'm calling out Jenny. All right, Jenny, who is here on a Monday night online open mic, who always comes and checks us out, but it never shows us who you are. Jenny, I sent you a message. Please respond to it, Jenny. I'm talking to you, Jenny, who never puts their video camera on. All right, I sent you a message. Check it. With that being said, let us get to our next poet, and that is Mr. Samuel Rain, aka Complicated Passions. Let me unmute him, aka Dark Man Blues. I guess when you that fly, you got that many names right there. Oh, San Francisco. I got love for San Francisco. I'm trying to unmute you. I don't know. There we go. There we go. Brother, it's a pleasure to see you as always. Let the folks know where they can find you online, because they're going to want to look you up once they hear your poetry, and then the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. You can find me as dark_man_blues on IG, Samuel Rain on Facebook, or you can just go to my website, darkmanblues.com. So that's it right there. So can you hear me? I'm good? All right.
Loud and clear. You good to go, brother.
All right. Check it out. I was driving, so I thought of this while I was driving. Check it out. I am an advocate of words, an elemental that's so dope, it'll take you through a Ray Jane experience. Yes, I am complicated passions, and we all flow differently. Some of us flow rhymes and call it therapy. She said my words have waves, so I took out my pen like she asked me. She said, write into me and make it nasty. Now she knows I would read her. It felt good discovering myself, true story, this past forgotten, these ancient memories feeding my soul. I wanted more and she was giving, inviting me like home. She shared her emotions, leaving echoes on wall paintings. I spoke her name. She's dark girl magic. It wasn't her appearance I fell into thinking this what makes me. She was that dare I needed, I had to. She spoke her mind and I don't mind the inner beauty moves me. I could taste the hunger. After all, she's temptation. If only she knew, dark girl, I'll be loving you with all of my senses, not just the 5 dimension, my 360 coming in dimensions, encompassing, if I were making love, I would inhale the scent of you like the sheets do. Take your breath away like a silent movie to be deeper into you. You singing to me and I come alive. The fire in your body engulfs the depth of my soul and I feel you like music. Now, Norican Poets Cafe, y'all got my pen inking. So I've adjusted my flow. Hear this like you want to be a part of me. Call me temptation, yes. I'm a fiend out to get it. This be my thing. In these lines, read my mind. You know what I mean. So big they buying my books in Belgium now. I got them hungry for me. Sounds like R&B. They even dubbed me the Will Downing of poetry. And to think, I'm just complicated passions, the voice behind this pen. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for Dark Man Blues, Complicated Passion, Samuel Ray.
I enjoyed that song.
Will
Come back again
Downing of
soon.
poetry. Come on, complicated. Let's go.
Yes.
Complicated Passions. You can check out his website, darkmanblues.com. He's actually been part of this community for a long time. Everywhere, every now and then he goes away for a little bit and then he comes back for a little bit and then he goes away. But I think he's been coming for like a year and a half now at some point. So it's always a pleasure to see you, brother. I hope all is well with you. Do not stray away too far, man. We want to hear you again, all right? Samuel Rain, aka Complicated Passions, aka Darkman Blues. Go check out his website, darkmanblues.com. Okay, let's keep it moving. Next, we are going across the border. That's right, folks. We're going to Canada because there is a border with Canada, and we're going with my man Zom Konto, who I'm hoping is going to be part of a production that I've been a production of in the past. I'm trying to unmute you, brother. I can see you smiling, so I know that you're hearing me. There we go. There we go. He is unmuted now. A mainstay member of this community. Let me tell y'all, right? You see that big, beautiful smile this brother has, right? He found us however he found us, and he just came in to check us out and was giving love, and he loved all of it, right? Like without even being told to, he was being as obnoxiously loud as Elemental was and giving love to the people. And we had a little bit of extra time, and there's something in my spirit said, we got a little bit of extra time, give him the mic. And we gave him the mic, and he lit it up, and he is coming back week in and week out, and we love it. Zomkonto, it's good to see you, brother. Let the folks know where they can find you online. Now let's get into your poetry.
Thank you so much. I'll provide the details afterwards. I wrote the theme. I wrote this a few hours ago, and this is based on Ned Turner, the slave revolution in 1831. So I wrote to theme. Picture this: Southampton County, Virginia, in 1831. When the slave master walked over to the plantation, feeling like a boss, impatient to make a statement. Little did he know he's not talking to the same guys that called him boss the day before. Those slaves with those were slaves with a master plan, ready for war. When Ned Turner and others say fuck it, and each brother got a burner and tucked it, that's when an important history lesson was preached into the ether. That you don't become boss because you've earned respect out of fear, but that when you become boss to your own fears, peers will follow you and call you anything you wish, anything but oppressor. But picture it though, how they must have watched him walk over, gave him time for his signature strut. You know, the one that makes you look like you got to stick up your butt. Those wicked guys that hate picket lines, walking towards you like those call center bosses. Those ones that strut towards your cubicle as if you are already inside a box, dead, itching to leave you dying inside. The ones always calling your bluff because they're calling the shots, knowing they can cut the number of calls you make like at a prison, looking for a reason to have you out on the streets to most likely get shot. Yeah, those kind of dudes. He walked over to them feeling himself with an attitude, ready to play God, except God was always playing on the other team like a boss, training his ops, the ones he never ever thought in his lifetime expected to win. So stop, humble yourself. The other day, someone slid in my DM speaking about how he knows how you can become your own boss in just less than a week. I laughed because stories of real bosses are not for the weak. Somebody that has mastered themselves, whose body is no longer a plantation, and therefore, even on a day nothing grows in their heart, they water the gardens of others than get them to plant theirs by force. A real boss is a boss to their fears. If you can bind your fears and whip them until they're black and blue, then perhaps there's a chance you might become boss too. Because you picture this man, after all that strutting and grunting, he got fucked up. Then pow, but never did it again. Thank you.
Ooh, unmute yourselves and give some energy and love to Zonkonto.
Yeah. Amazing. Beautiful.
Always. Never miss it.
Intense indeed, Zonkonto never fails to impress. Make sure you go give that man a follow. Let me tell you, there is still some tears people are wiping away from his eyes from the last time he joined us at Hybrid with this poem about his son. It is this is why you gotta call it a hybrid. Zonkonto's on the big screen and we saw all of his emotion and sharing it like there wasn't a dry eye in the cafe that time. One of the mainstay members here, this community, love having him on here. Can't wait to get him to New York City. Zonkonto, go give him a follow. All right, next coming up, I hope he is ready, is the OG of the New Rican Poets Cafe. I like to say that this man has more claim to this open mic than I do. The true Lower East Sider, the Jedi Master himself, Mr. Paul Skiff. Paul, are you able to hear me? All is well? We ready to go?
Yeah, I got you. Am I coming over there?
Yep, loud and clear, brother. The floor is yours. First, let the people know where they can find you online, and then we're ready to get into the Skiff verse.
Yeah, I'm just on IG at SkiffGran or a website called paulskiff.com. I'm going to hurry through this piece because I'm cramming it into 3 minutes. It's a composite thing I'm doing. It's a couple of short paragraphs of a prose piece, a little snippet of a poem, and 2 3-sentence letters. It's a tribute to a boss, just trying to create a mood. How does it look? says the boss. I peel back the bandage over his right eye. As it comes up, the surgical tape leaves an outline of gummy residue on his skin. Rotating below the gauze, framed by a bruised orbit, is the swollen eye whose white has become caramel colored. There are tiny stitches pegged around the dark iris. The eyelashes, all of which have been removed, have grown back slightly. They are stumps across the lip of the swollen eyelid. The eye is wallowing in a lumpy, viscous fluid. I loosen my clamped teeth to say, well, I mean, it doesn't look too bad, really. I then apply the 4 different eye drop solutions that are necessary medication. I do this every morning now when I bring food in, usually around 10 a.m. What do I do? It is a numbly pronounced question. The boss is confused. The doctor says if I go, it may hurt my eyes more, so that he won't be able to do anything. Next week, the boss is signed to begin a 12-city tour with Mickey Hart of the Grateful Dead rock and roll band. The tour is time to cash in on the boss's and Mickey's release, which has been holding steady with alternative and college radio play. They're going to do places like Carnegie Hall. Publicity is out. Tickets are selling. There's talk of a Grammy, but the doctors want to schedule the boss to be back in the hospital before November ends. Things aren't going well inside his one unusable eye. We linger in silence. I feel the heavy wave of money, reputation, and fear teeter, frozen at high crest. This is a contest between Mickey Hart and the eye specialist Giovinazzo. They have worked up a kind of existential stage fright for the boss. Go on the tour with the possible consequence of ending up blind forever, or skip a tour, then lose out, capitalizing on the biggest career boost he's had in over 25 years. There are sirens down outside on Broadway. It is murky in the room now. Each breath the boss draws is a labored sigh. Even if he does the tour with his sight the way it is, he is not sure he can make it through. You're a veteran performer. You have to go, I say. Just do the first 2 shows, Baba. The rest will flow by. You have to go. You'll be all right. Don't listen to anybody else. You know this yourself. The only reason I can say this is because there is absolutely no doubt about what the work and the music will do for him. A package arrives from Nigeria, written in the musical notations of Yoruban and translated on the letter's backside. July 20, 1994, Dear Baba, all necessary sacrifices have now been completed. Top witches met and gave consent to the medicines which I am sending today. The Alufa who made all these medicines charged heavily. He has a list of customers testifying to his expertise. The treatment will restore definitely your eyesight by the grace of God, Allah. All the preparations are so powerful that you will surely see in your dreams those people responsible for holding your eyesight from you. Yours sincerely, Bang Boj. Be the blind one sitting in a pile of quarters, eating the black dust of a burned tree out of your hand. Be the blind one rubbing camphor into your skin and swallowing the dried powder of a cow's stomach humming. Be the blind one singing to the radial artery in your wrist. Be the blind one calling currents and waves to your bed with the tail of an electric fish deep beneath your covers. Be the blind one hidden like money who pounds rhythm on their body at night while humming in the dark to scare off the outside. Be the blind one sitting beneath a clutch of dried red peppers where air is immaculate patience of a clay pot's mouth in which time has drooled. Be the blind one who knows he has found the spirit when the wood thrown on the fire does not burn. Dear Paul, thank you for all your help, devotion, and care of me since we have met. Words are inadequate to express how grateful I am. May the Creator continue to bless all of us and crown our efforts to do the right things with success. Thank you for being you, and glory to God for bringing you on my path. Peace and love, Baba. Oh, fi fa ire mi wa fa mi o ire la ba la eshe o risha.
Now unmute yourselves. I didn't want that to end. Give it up for Paul Skiff.
What a treat.
Yes, what a way.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Just come on,
much
Paul.
respect.
God.
Paul Skiff, you could go check out his website, paulskiff.com, an OG of the Nuyorican Poets Cafe, the community, the culture, the craft. Love having this dude in the community. You have no idea. And if you've gotten to meet him in person, you can feel the energy off of him. He's a true Lower East Sider. Paul Skiff, also on Instagram, Skiffgram. Go give him a follow. You know, that's when they're not policing him and kicking him off the app for whatever reason. Make sure that you go and check him out. Paul, thank you as always. Hope to see you soon in person, brother. Hope to see you soon. All right, let's keep it going. Oh, you know Paul was dope because Whitney put her camera on. This whole time, Whitney's just been listening, but look at that. She snuggled up. She had to put her camera on because Paul Skiff dropped it. Oh, look at Denisha had her camera on. We shouted you out earlier, Denisha. I hope you heard. She put her camera on too. It's good to see you. And, we did see Mia Aguilera eating her cereal or oatmeal or whatever it is that you're eating, Mia. She's about to cut me. She's from Brooklyn. I almost got cut by her because I thought I said Queens by accident, but, she is from Brooklyn. So we have had some people who are on the list that haven't been here, but I do see Generalissimo is coming in, but that's right, because we're going to go to my man on the left coast, the most obnoxious person I know when it comes to giving love, and that is Elemental. Brother, a pleasure to have you on Rockin', and as always, a pleasure to know that if I can't host this, you are going to jump in and host. But of course, we both know Mr. Ron Mark Thompson makes it easy behind the scenes. Shout out to Mr. Ron Mark Thompson in the cafe right now. But we want to hear from my man Elemental. Let the folks know where they can find you online, then let's get into your fire, man.
Listen, I truly appreciate all of you, really, to every poet who came before me and after. Listen, I truly appreciate your energy. You really, really make this circus an attraction. Shout out to one of the dopest hosts in the Zoomverse, advocate of words with a Z, hip hop. That dude's the business. Shout out to First Lady. RMT, listen, that's just like a support extreme. I truly appreciate y'all, man. Really, this is brand new, man. Just finished. Forgive me for slinging paint. This is paid the cost. This is for every hog outside Hazard County waving rebel flags at systems of downtrodden illusions of equality that make you believe employees have rights past punching clocks at designated times that designate your ass to proper placement of proletariat permanence. Please know your place. This is wide body language, with chrome fixtures and platinum finishes, hand stitched with sacrifices for the pleasure of those with elaborate taste for delicate flesh. Faceless guests of ritual to tomahawk perfect fillets for slayers of boardrooms and courtrooms that swoon at precedents. Disgusting, emeritus. Strike down sentences that put novelists to shame. So Stephen King on Green Miles that Scrooge McDuck every dollar and number one dime to NASDAQ signs of bear market projections and insider trading the dopest stocks. Coca-Cola bottle pops across the globe where apple trees near Springsteen streams of Shelby engine roars gone in 60 seconds and snake eyes of face off on thin ice. These mighty ducks walk and quack, no mongoose. This gold hoop, Nino Brown business. John Hull deep cover into truckloads of racks on racks on racks. Disregard statistics that detail a 300% difference in income from bourgeoisie to 99% of folks that work for a living. This that B.B. King living Lucille's dream of Snoop D.O. Double G on Dre Day, where K-Slay owned a room that boomed in subwoofers the size of G5 pilot bills. But who cares about dollars when accountants play magicians, make sense disappear? I mean, common sense that pennies equal dollars for those who count change in numerical increments of lives or tribes or countrysides they believe have always belonged to bosses that cross hearts and hope poor people die a starving, horrible death, drowning in poverty. But what do astronauts care of algae eaters or bottom feeders? Money and power pays for any and everything until the people, you remember the people, right? You remember the people suffocate your finance, burn spaces you claim to be safe, and make revolution the ultimate taste of truth. It's on its way to you. Peace.
Give it up
Another
for
fantastic.
Elemental.
Wow.
Elemental.
Yes, Elemental.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Great job.
This dude always brings the fire. Elemental, you check out his website, elemental.com. When you spell elemental, you take out the T and you put in the number 2. Take out the letter T and you put in the number 2. You saw it, he put it right there into his Zoom name, elemental.com. I appreciate you as always, brother. Our brother out there on the left coast. Also, shout out someone who's a little farther left, or maybe you look all the way farther right, depending on where you are on the map. My man Poetic out here in Japan, checking us out, getting up real early. I hit him up like, you want to rock? He's like, dude, I just woke up, all right? I'm just here to give love right now. Always giving us love. I appreciate you, Poetic. I hope all is well with you, a mainstay member of this community. All right, now, one of the people that was supposed to be here earlier, but they must have been out saving the world or causing a lot of havoc, is Jerry Lissimo, but he is back, him and his gorgeous goatee, so let us unmute him so that we can hear his poetry. There's that gorgeous goatee. Brother, let the folks know where they can find you online and your published book, and then the floor is yours.
Well, I'll put that later in the chat, but because, you know, now I'm all embarrassed to talk about my goatee that way, and I'm gonna have to blush or something. So the first poem I just found out today is going to be published in a German journal called The Wild Word, and it's called Humidor. We were in Dad's office after he passed, gathering his possessions. There were plaques and awards from his over 40-year career. There were objects, the art and tchotchkes collected over the years, one of which was an Inuit usik, a petrified walrus penis bone. And there was a velvet and cedar-lined humidor that contained fancy pins and a letter opener. At first, I displayed the luxurious cigar box top opened on a mantel. Inside was the letter opener engraved with his initials. I tried to imagine my father opening mail with a letter opener, but it never seemed to come to fruition. I have been gifted a couple of letter openers, but could never bring myself to use them. I have a mental block against letter openers, as if they are a form of cheating. I love opening the humidor just to smell the cedar aroma, which allows me to feel the presence of my father's spirit inside myself. Every day since my father died, I feel more and more separated from him. I guess the usik's tchotchkes and letter opener it's the usik's tchotchkes and letter opener that remind me how lucky I was to have a father who taught me that if you work a little harder to open a letter, what it says inside might speak louder. And then I'm gonna, where did I just have that? Read some stuff that I wrote in Ray Jane's recent workshop that she had on Sunday. So this is all really brand new. And they don't have titles. The first is, my pen wants to write a love poem written in purple ink. As ink bleeds into paper with metaphors of autumn leaves, it changes colors to rust and speaks of hurricanes and felled trees. Aftermath is colored muted goldenrod because The morning after such storms are patchworks of sunshine, gentle breezes, and cleaning up messes that will linger in memory. Then the ink finds its way to black when electricity takes its time to be restored in a heart that never loses its maroonness. Then I'll do this piece. There was a time I found no shelter in my skin. The sun promised me a tan that never came to fruition, so I walked around with redness that peeled away like a poorly constructed roof in a Category 1 hurricane. I tried frozen tea bags to remove the sting in my skin, but all such remedies are temporary at best and often lead to immunity to their effects. While everyone lives in their skin from birth to death, we all shed it over and over again because we are always moving on in life, whether we want to or not, because our bodies are U-Haul trucks that don't beep when we decide to back up. Thank you. And thank you, Ray Jane, if she's here. We're having a wonderful workshop.
Ooh, give it up for Generalissimo.
Nice job,
Oh,
Generalissimo.
you're writing is immortal, Generalissimo.
Yeah, that U-Haul language. Let's go. Keep it moving.
Awesome.
Let's go.
I love that. After hearing the father poem, I was like, oh, okay, that's going to be the highlight of his poems. And that last poem really got to me. Generalissimo, make sure you go give this dude a follow. Indeed, he is more than just his gorgeous goatee right there. And also, one more time, another shout out to Ray Jane, who apparently hosted the workshop on Sunday, but she also hosts our Thursday night online open mic. So make sure that you go and you check that out at 9 p.m. Eastern, doing poetry, comedy, music. Make sure that you go and you check that out. And of course, check out our website, nuyorican.org. We got so many things going on online. We got so many things going on inside the cafe. I hope that you join us for all of it, for all that we're doing. We're working hard for all of it, man. We about it. So I appreciate all of y'all for spending your time with us here on this Monday night online open mic. Now, shout out to Mr. Ron Mark Thompson. Normally, Ron will come on and introduce a few people. I know he did introduce Catherine, but Ron wasn't really supposed to be heard because of all the noise in the background. He's at the actual cafe. So shout out to Ron. Thank you for jumping in, brother. I appreciate you for always stepping up and having our back. NewYorican.org, I think I covered everything, right? And I made fun of the New York Mets and the Boston Red Sox, so that was a good night. We made sure to talk well about Generalissimo's goatee and all of that. I think we've covered everything. Going to talk more about the anthology next week. And yeah, so you have heard my voice all night long, which I appreciate because you're going to hear it again all night long next Monday. But we really are big on building community. And like I said, every night that we do the Monday night online open mic, we end with a different voice, someone from the community. And I always try to turn around and get people who weren't on the list to do that. And so we are now going to bring in Mr. Alexander Goldberg to end the night for us. The Goatberg, all the way on the left coast, who in a couple of weeks will be here in New York City. With that being said, Alexander, take us home, brother.
Good night, sweet poet. Thank you for sharing what you've written. Good night, sweet poet. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Good night, sweet poet. May your dreams be as imaginative as tonight's poems. Good night, sweet poet. Thank you for inviting the spirit of Miguel Algarin into your home. Ra. This has been a Monday night online open mic presented by the legendary New Rican Poets Cafe, hosted by the one and only, the greatest host in the world, advocate of words from the Bronx. And now, I, Alexander the Goldberg, would like to say, on behalf of the community, good night, sweet poet.